Yep, ladies and gentlemen, you're reading it. Undisputed champion Terrence Bud Crawford announced his retirement earlier today. I'm just now putting it out there because, hey, I got a day job, so I can't put this information on my channel as fast as most other YouTubers can do. But yeah, and before I get into my issue with this, I want to just well, I just want to say congratulations to Terrence Crawford. He deserves it. He's earned every right to make that decision. Leave while you're on top. Don't ride it till the wheels fall off, obviously. And he's got nothing else to prove. He's done it all. He fought the best. Excuse me. Tried to hold that in. He dared to be great. And he proved he was great. I don't know why the Knicks halftime space is showing up here. That's weird, but I'm not a Knicks fan, obviously, but whatever. But the point is, Terrence Crawford has announced his retirement, and he deserves it. Good for him. Congratulations. Now, my issue with this is I hate the fact that he's retiring because at this given point in his career, he has become a household name. Now, mind you, if we go here to his box record, 42-0. Because one thing BoxRec can get right is your darn records. Ain't that something? But yeah, at 38, he's 42-0. My issue is that he's retiring right at the peak of where he becomes not just household, but internationally. He's becoming that guy, that draw, that he can draw paydays for real. Like, he can draw a Floyd Money Mayweather payday. He can draw a Canelo Alvarez payday. And I hate that in the last few years, he's finally getting that. And if maybe I'm wrong, but this is my opinion and this is how I see it and how I feel about it. But it should have happened a long time ago. And it should have happened when he beat Jeff Horn. And if we scroll down here, when did he beat Jeff Horn? June 18th. I want to say that was 2017 or 2018. Matter of fact, yeah, that was June of 2018. June 2018, I'm sorry. I don't know the exact date, but it was June of 2018. That's when he beat Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn was the one who came off a very controversial win against Manny Pacquiao. And here's the thing. Right around that time, I blame a lot of that I blame a lot of that on the promoters. Sure, you can say, oh, Floyd Mayweather did this, Floyd Mayweather was doing that, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, the Mayweather effect was still kind of luring and lingering in the air, but at the time when he beat Jeff Horn, he was a top ranked fighter, both Crawford and Jeff Horn. And most of the blame for him not being that household draw where he should have been getting those paydays and drawing in those pay-per-view buys and just everything that Floyd Mayweather got, Canelo Alvarez got, Tyson Fury got it, even Deontay Wilder at one point was getting it. But let's be real. You know what? I'm not even gonna say Deontay Wilder. Errol Spence Jr. was sort of getting it, getting that type of payday and et cetera, et cetera. We'll just leave it at that. But anywho, when you can get the Floyd Mayweather paydays, the Oscar De La Hoyas, the Canelo Alvarez paydays, it should have happened for Terrence Crawford right there. And a lot of that blame goes to Bob Arum. Yes. People could say Terrence Crawford wasn't as active. Rightfully so. Let's be real. Majority of the boxers in today's age, they're not as active as the 80s and the 90s. They may fight 2 or 3 times a year versus 4 or 5 times. These guys just don't want to, and I'm not saying they're scared to lose that undefeated record, but a lot of them just don't want to take that many hits to the head that often. And good for them, but when he defeated Jeff Horn, first off, I respect everything Bob Arum does for the sport of boxing, but as a promoter, I'm very critical of him because he didn't know how to promote Terrence Crawford. He's part of the reason why Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. didn't have their fight until, let's see here, of 2023. Almost said 2022, but yeah. 2023. That fight should have happened no later than 2020. People have been wanting that fight for a long time. But then the next blame goes to Al Haymon. Majority of PBC fighters were just not crossing the street. And equal blame, that goes to a lot of Golden Boy fighters, a lot of top rank fighters, fighters under Eddie Hearn, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You get the point. Nobody wanted to, Bob Arum, Al Haymon, Oscar De La Hoya, Eddie Hearn, those are the 4, you can say those are the 4 corners of the block, right? Nobody wanted to cross the street. We'll just put it in that sense of term, right? And then there's the next block over. You got another set of boxing promoters, et cetera, et cetera. But that was like the main, those 4 promoters are the main street, the 4 corners of that, 4 corners of that main street. Nobody crossed. So 25% of the blame goes to the other 3 big promoters, but 75% of that goes to Bob Arum. Because Bob Arum just didn't know how to promote Terrence Crawford. And when Terrence Crawford finally left Bob Arum, he became a free agent. When he became a free agent, he did a Black Prime deal, which To each his own was successful. To me, it wasn't that successful. He fought somebody not too many people knew of, unless you were heavy in boxing before. And that to me was I don't want to call it a tune up fight, but it was more of a backup fight because the Spence fight had fell out. And when he fought David, I mean, that should have been the Spence fight. But then eventually, Al Heyman came to his senses and they finally pushed through and they got the Spence fight. It was around this time here, after he beat Sean Porter and Errol Spence, that's when he started getting that buzz. And he started becoming a lot known and a lot more known. His name just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's like, now you got celebrities showing up to your fight against Matarmov, which was a good fight, by the way. I'm not going to say it was my favorite fight of his, but it wasn't his worst, but it wasn't his best either. I'll just say that because he wasn't as effective. Like, I guess you could say it was ring rust a little bit because he hadn't been in a ring to really fight since the Spence Jr. fight, but whatever. No big deal. And then he comes to fight Saul Canelo Alvarez, which I've been watching Alvarez since his early fights where he was knocking people out in 4 rounds and under. So, but that's another story for another day. But the point is, when he fought these 3 gentlemen here, that's when his name started to become a buzz. That should have happened here. And it didn't. And that's my complaint. He wasn't well promoted. And it's once he left the nest and betted on himself, that's when he started to do it. And I hate that for him because he should have been a big name to begin with. The same way Eddie Hearn is trying to do Jaron Ennis right now, that's what Bob Arum should have been doing for Terrence Crawford, and he didn't do that properly, in my opinion. And when Terrence Crawford left, he made a horrible comment about it, and that didn't sit well with me. And it was similar to what he said about Floyd Mayweather, but whatever. That's promoters are going to make their comments, and that's just what it is. But in all to be said, Terrence Crawford retires on top, 42-0, 31 knockouts. That's a crazy record. It's not easy to get. Yeah, we get it. Floyd Mayweather 51-0, blah, blah, blah. We get it. But to get that many fights in and to get more fights like that and not have a loss, that's difficult. So shout out to Terrence Crawford. I hope whatever he does in the future, he is successful in it. Seems like he wants to train younger fighters, so I think he's gonna ride off in the sunset and do that, which most boxers decide to open up gyms and train younger fighters and whatever they choose to do. And good for him and good for the other fighters that do that too. So I can't get mad at that. Walk away while you're on top. No need to fall from grace. So best wishes, Terrence Crawford, and Best wishes and anything else he does. I go by the name of J Hook. I don't want to hold y'all too long. So y'all enjoy your days and be safe and stay blessed. I'll see y'all later.